War II on the home front.
He's interviewing us about the World War II on the home front. Because Johnny wasn't home, he was over in India.
I wasn't home.
So
Really?
he doesn't, you
I
know.
was over in India.
Oh, what were you doing?
God only
He
knows.
was a soldier.
It was mostly for supplies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was, we were right up near the Burmese border, right before the hump.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they brought all the supplies from America to China.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to fly over the hump, they called it. And then we were at the base there. And had to keep flying the planes and taking everything over there. God only knows what they were taking over there. Everything was in crates
Don't
and
ask,
everything.
don't tell.
No, but it was mostly a supplies.
Nice.
I wasn't in any shooting or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
How about the day you met our neighbor over on Starboard Street? Same age group, the Frawley fellow.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he come up and interviewed.
No, it's fine.
I
Over
know.
in India, I was out there just killing time, doing nothing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he came by on a motorcycle, and oh, geez, he turned around quickly. I said, I don't know who that is. It was a guy, Leo Frawley, lived a couple of houses down on Starboard Street.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he still lives, well, he lives in Chelmsford, but he's been around, you know, and,
Well, you never know who you're going to meet.
you know, which is
Every
nice.
now and then you meet somebody, but
You mean it was military base?
Military, yes.
Military base.
But Robert wanted to ask about the home,
But
right?
you want to know at home.
Oh, it's,
Well, my
it's
age,
nice,
you
I
know,
think
I'm not
India
as
is
old as I
beautiful
look. I
country.
was only in high school then.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't out working because I was in high school. But we did notice more than anything, a lot of, I think I was a junior,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the boys, once they turned, I think 17, they could go in. A lot of the
Yeah.
fellow students, they took off and joined the Army or the Navy or whatever they had to join. So our graduation class got smaller and smaller.
Mhm.
Usually it's about 50-50 boys and
Yeah.
girls, but they all took off. But then in our reunion, you would have them and back, and they'd say, well, I was in the Army or I was in the Navy, and you say, well, where have you been?
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't. But my father, I know, he had to, he was a milkman.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a victory garden,
Yeah.
planted vegetables,
Oh, nice.
like I'm sure a lot of people did.
Mm-hmm.
And he also, we had food stamps.
Oh.
You know, you could only buy so much of these dairy
Right,
products
for
and whatever
rations.
was scarce.
Meatless Mondays.
For butter
Mm-hmm.
and sugar.
Yeah.
Butter and sugar was very, very difficult. And, but we never went hungry. We had plenty of food, but
Mhm.
certain things you couldn't get. And then, like one of my sisters who's now dead, she worked in the parachute factory in Lowell. I forget the name of it, but they made parachutes for the war.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the young girls at that time, that's what they did. Or they went to Washington to work, you know, to do what they had to do there.
Mm-hmm.
But I did nothing because I was in high school.
Oh, fair enough.
It was interesting, but we had to, sometimes we had to keep the shades down.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't blackout shades, but you had to keep them down. And you had to cut back on lights. But Robert, we didn't have televisions back then. We didn't have to worry about all of these things. And if the lights went out, we lit a candle.
Mm-hmm.
But, and they had wardens, what they called them.
Mm-hmm.
World War II wardens. And men would walk around the neighborhoods. And I guess if you had lights showing when you shouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
they'd knock on your door and tell you, would you pull your shade down or would you wash it? Because we're very close to the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
in Seabrook and all the way up there, you know, there were submarines and we didn't see them, but they
Mhm.
were there.
Yeah, did you ever see any of the U.S. ships being sunk? Because we saw videos on the actual coast of, the east coast of America where ships were sunk because of the German U-boats there.
Yeah, I guess they did, but we didn't see them.
Okay.
And you know, you had newspapers, we had radios, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see wars going on like currently,
Mm-hmm.
which is tough. Everything that's happening, we're there. I
Mhm.
don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But we, also shoes. We had ration stamps for shoes.
Mm-hmm.
We could only buy so many. And nylon stockings. Nina, you'd appreciate this. Nylon stockings. I worked part-time after school in Gagman's department store downtown. They've gone long since. But they put a little ad in the paper, and Gagman department store will have so many thousand pairs of nylon stockings, one per pair per customer. And it will be Saturday morning from 9 o'clock until they run out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working there, of course. So the employees got a pair ahead of time. One pair, doesn't matter, we got them. But the line went, and you're probably not familiar with the buildings we'd know, but downtown, that Page's clock, there's a big clock that's still there.
Mm-hmm.
The line was way there,
Wow.
2 or 3 blocks up where the department store was, and people were pushing and shoving. There, I got a pair of nylon stockings. Because they were beautiful, but the stockings we were wearing weren't very nice.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in the summer, Nina, you might
The
remember this.
synthetic eigentlich.
Somewhere, not you weren't here, but we didn't have stockings, and we had what we called leg paint.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost like a foundation you'd wear on your face, and you'd put it on your legs, and it would look like stockings. And then they had seams a lot. If you wanted a seam, you'd have a pencil, and you'd run it all the way back. And you couldn't cross your legs, because if you cross your legs, the paint came off. Which
Those are
wasn't
the
much
good old
fun.
days.
We didn't go to war, but we did our thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know too, that house across the street, Kitty Corner,
Mm-hmm.
the lady who lived there, oh, this is what I did. I did do something.
Nice.
The lady who lived there, her husband worked up in Maine, and he only came home weekends. And her 2 sons, the Griffin boys,
Oh, I
the 2
know.
sons were in the army or whatever they were in. They were gone, and she was an elderly woman,
Mm-hmm.
and she really shouldn't be alone. Her bedroom was upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go over there every night. Saturdays I didn't go because he was
Mhm.
home. Every night I would go over around time to go to bed. I'd go earlier so she could go, but she couldn't go up the stairs alone.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be there, and I got the 2nd bedroom facing DJ's house. That was my bedroom. And when I got up, come home, get dressed. I went to high school. And I walked to high school.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever walk to high school when you I know you just went over to the Franco-American, didn't you?
I walked to I walked from the Franco-American back.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I wanted to walk to high school, it'd be 3 miles in Westford, so can't really.
It's the same with here. Going to high school
Mm-hmm.
from here, downtown,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
went, excuse me, I went 1 to 5, part-time, well, full-time. Because the school I was going to when I was a 7th grade, it went on fire, so they couldn't build a new school.
Mm-hmm.
So they bunched us all together, and we went to school 1 to 5 every day,
Mm-hmm.
hot or cold, and we walked. We walked from here to down there, the girl next door, and Kenny Mahoney down there, and
Mm-hmm.
we survived, and it didn't kill us. And again, there was really nothing, it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember VJ Day.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. And this Jackie Bowers, he married, Joan Foley married him,
Oh, yeah.
Jackie Bowers.
Oh, yeah.
He was a
yeah,
character.
He was a wacky, yeah.
Oh, what a hot ticket. He went in the army, he was one of those too, went in. And but he went after whatever, and he climbed up on the top of